A very good morning to all the students present out there. This is Zeba Anjum with your lecture number 18 of Computer Applications with BlueJ Class 10th. My dear students, in this video, today we are going to discuss the exercise portion of unit number 8, that is iterative constructs in Java. Okay, this video is basically the part 3. Okay, now today we will discuss some of the portion of your exercise. Let us start with the first one, that is your fill in the blanks. Now see the first one. When the statements are repeated sequentially a number of times in a program, the construct is known as basically your loop. Okay. The second one, for loop is also known as your entry control loop. It is also known as your entry control loop. See the third one, dash loop is called exit control loop. It is a do while. Okay, the third answer is do while. For the fourth one, dash loop executes at least once if the condition is false. The answer is again do while. For the fifth one, dash loop checks the condition first before its execution. See, for this fifth one, you have to write down entry control loop. Okay, entry control loop. If you write down this while loop, then also your answer will be right. If you write down the for loop, then also your answer will be right. Okay, because over here what is saying that it checks a condition first before its execution. Okay, so better to write down entry control loop over here. Now for the last one, sixth one, to find the sum of any 10 numbers, the loop will run simply 10 times. Okay, now moving forward with your answer the following questions. See the first one, what is a for loop? What are the parameters used in for loop? Now for the definition, you are having for loop is an entry control loop and is used when the number of iterations are fixed and known. The following parameters are commonly used in a for loop. See, these are the four parameters. Firstly, your initial stage, initial condition. The second one, your test condition. The third one, your updation portion. And your fourth one is body of the loop. Okay, so you have to include all the 4 points in your answer. And better if you give this one example. Okay, this is for the first answer. Moving forward, we are having the second one. Define the following with their construct. Now, my dear students, for the section number A, that is entry control loop. For the first part, please turn on your page number 95. On page number 95, you are having a heading, entry control loop. Okay, so firstly, you have to merge these words. An entry control loop is. Then from the first line, a looping construct in which the condition is checked and till the second line last denied. Okay, this much you have to write down in entry control loop. Now in exit control loop, please turn on your page number 96 for the same. Now you have to merge an exit control loop is. Okay, an exit control loop is. Then from the first line, a looping construct in which condition is checked and all these things. Okay, until the third line respectively, you have to write down the answer. I hope the answer is clear. For the third one, write down the syntax of do while loop as well as while loop. For do while loop, this is your syntax. For while loop, this one is your syntax. Okay, you please note it down. Moving forward with our question number 4, what is the purpose of using break statement? Now break statement is used to unconditionally jump out of the loop. Okay, it would be better if you provide any one example. Yes, by your own. From the previous video also you can merge any example over here. Yes, now for the second one, continue statements in a program. Continue statement is used to unconditionally jump to the next iteration of the loop, skipping the remaining statement of the current iteration. Okay, and it would also be better if you include one example from my previous video. So in both the cases you have to include one example. It doesn't matter whatever loop you are using, whether you are using for loop, while loop or do while loop, but according to your choice, according to your priority, please include one example in both these cases, for break as well as for continue. Okay, now for the question number 5, distinguish between while and do while loop. See, we are having two examples, sorry, 2 points of distinguish over here. The first one, it is an entry control loop. For do while loop, it is an exit control loop. Again, the second one, it is helpful in situation when number of iterations are not known. Okay, when your number of iterations are not known, they are unfixed iteration, then we are using while. For do while, it is suitable when we need to display a menu to the user. Okay, why a menu to the user? Because even if the condition is false, then do while executes the statement at least once. Okay, so that is why it is used suitable when we need to display a menu to the user. Now see the sixth question. What is mean by an infinite loop? Give an example. Now for this answer, my dear students, please turn on your page number 100. On page number 100, you are having the third line. Yes, infinite loop. Now you have to start from a loop that repeats for infinite number of iterations and then till the endless loop. Okay. Two examples have been provided over there. One is for loop, one for while loop. According to your priority, please include one example. Okay, either it should be a for loop or while loop, depends on you. Only one example you have to merge in this answer. For seventh question, state one difference and one similarity between while loop and do while loop. Now for the difference, my dear students, over here we have discussed two distinguished. Yes, over here we have discussed two differences. Now according to you, any one difference you write down over here. And for the similarity, please turn on your page number 111. You are having review inside portion. From those, see the second question. Yes, the question is the same, so you have to merge both the answers in this seventh part. I hope this section is clear. Answer the following question. Yes, now moving forward, the third part we are having is what? Predict the output. Okay, now see, one by one we are going to see how these outputs are being obtained. Now see the first question over here. The first question says what? It says the following segment of a program, you are having x equals to 1, y equals to 1, some condition of if you are having some statements to be executed. Now you have to find out the value of x and y. Okay, two conditions are being provided if your n equals to 1 and if your n equals to 0. Now for every value of n, we are going to find out the value of x and y. Now for the first part, when your n equals to 1, so your if condition 1 greater than 0, the condition is true. Yes, so x equals to x plus 1 statement will be executed. The previous value of x was 1, now the value will be added and the answer will be 2. So the value of x is what? It is 2. Now for y, it is y plus 1. The initial value of y was again 1 and plus 1 will be giving you what? 2. Okay, so the answer is what? You have to write down then the output, and below that x equals to 2, y equals to 2. Okay, my dear students, please it is always better to show these steps in your answers. Okay, now this is the answer when your n equals to 1. Now for the second part, when your n equals to 0, then what will happen? Firstly, the condition will be checked. 0 greater than 0, the condition is false. So these statements will not be executed. Okay, and the value of x will remain 1 as well as the value of y will also remain 1. Okay, so for this first part, basically this is your answer. For the first one, when n equals to 1, this is your answer. For n equals to 0, this one is your output. Okay, in your copy, when you are going to write down these outputs, okay, or in your book, if you are writing the outputs with a pencil, please make a note over there that you please show the steps that how you are going to obtain these outputs. Okay, now see the second question. Analyze the following program segment and determine how many times the body of the loop will be executed. Now over here you have to show what? You have to show the number of times the body of the loop will be executed, and with that you have also to show the working. Okay, means the steps you have to show over here also. So we are having what? We are having the value of x equals to 5 and the value of y equals to 50. Yes, now the while condition will be evaluated x less than equals to y. Now for the first time this condition will be evaluated. Yes, means 5 less than equals to 50. The condition is true. Yes, so these statements will be executed. Now y will becomes what? Y equals to y divided by x. The value of y was 50, the value of x was 5. So this is going to give you the question, that is basically 10. So the value of y becomes what? It becomes 10. Now system.out.println y, you are having the output over here, let us assume. Okay, so on the output screen you will be getting this 10. Getting the point? Now for these ones your loop has been executed one time. Okay, now for the second time the condition will again be checked. Now the value of y is changed. Yes, so the condition becomes 5 less than equals to 10, because the current value of y is what? It is 10. Again the condition is true. Yes, again the statements will be evaluated. So y equals to 10 divided by 5, it is going to give you what? It is going to give you 2. Getting the point? Now system.out.println y, again in the output screen you are going to get this 2 over here. Okay, so now again see over here, for these two statements the second time your loop is executed. Okay, now for the third time when this condition is being checked, let us see over here, when the condition is being checked, then x, that is 5, is less than equal to the value of y is 2. Now this condition becomes false, so you will be coming out of this for loop. Okay, so what you have seen over here is that this is the first time your body has been evaluated, this is the second time your body has been executed, so at a total 2 times your loop will be executed. Okay, now these are the workings, and the output is what? 10, and in the next line you are getting 2. Okay, so see over here, for the second answer, that is why you are getting 10 and 2 in a new line, because we are having ln over here. Okay, and the loop will be executed 2 times. Okay, both the things you have to mention over here. With these both you also have to mention the working, because it has also been shown over here that you have to show the working. It means the steps, that is how you are going to get this kind of output. Okay, for the third one, see what will be the output of the following code. Now for this one we are having m equals to 2, n equals to 15. Yes, we are having this for loop. Now my dear students, please notice over here that we are not having any curly bracket after for loop. Yes, so it is understood that only m plus plus is there in your for loop. Okay, as a statement only m plus plus will be executed again and again for your for loop, but minus minus n will be evaluated only once. Okay, I hope this thing is clear. Now let us assume the value of n is over here, the value of m is over here. Yes, and the value of I is over here. Getting? Now initially the value of n was 15, the value of m was what? It is 2. Now the value of I is 1. Okay, the condition will be checked, that is 1 less than equals to 5. 1 less than 5, condition is true, hence the body will be evaluated. It means m plus plus. Okay, so for the next time the value of m will be increased, and the value becomes what? It becomes 3. Okay, now for the next iteration you will be getting I plus plus, so the value of I becomes 2. Again the value will be checked, 2 less than 5, condition is again true, the value of m will again be incremented. Okay, it becomes now 4. Okay, so the value of I will again be incremented with this updation portion, so it becomes 3. Yes, so now 3 less than 5, the condition is again true. Yes, again this m plus plus will be evaluated and it becomes 5. Again I plus plus will be evaluated and your value becomes what? It becomes 4. Now again the value will be checked. Getting? Again the value will be checked, so you are getting what? 4 less than 5. Okay, now when you got this answer, then you got what? M plus plus also. So the value of m will again be incremented and it becomes what? It becomes 6. Getting? Now you will be having what? I plus plus, again the value of I will be incremented and it becomes what? It becomes 5. So for 5 less than 5, the condition is what? It is false. Yes, the condition is false. Now it will be coming out of this for loop. Now this minus minus n will be evaluated and the value of n will be decreased by 1. So you will be getting 14 over here. Okay, now after all these execution you are having what? The final value of n is 14, the final value of m is 6. Okay, now these lines will be evaluated. System.out.println, you are getting the output as m equals to 6, and in the next line you are getting n equals to 14. Okay, I hope the answer is clear. So this is the output that you are going to get over here. M equals to 6 and your n equals to 14. Now moving forward for the fourth one. My dear students, this fourth one, you please try this question on your own. If you get any difficulty in this, then please let me know. I will explain it to you. Okay, so basically this is your homework. Now moving forward with our fifth answer, fifth question. See, give the output of the following segment. Also mention the number of times the loop will be executed. Okay, what you have to find out? You have to give the output basically, and then you have to tell how many times your loop is executed. Now see over here, we are having two numbers, that is a as well as b. Okay, the value of a is 6, the value of b is what? It is 4. Okay, we can give these two values in your initialization phase. It is perfectly valid. Okay, please don't get confused in it. You can always give 2 or 3 or more values, depends upon your condition. Okay, so the value of a is what? It is 6, the value of b is 4. Now the condition will be checked. A less than equals to 4 means 6 less than equals to 4. The condition is false, so this body will not be executed even once. Okay, not even once your body is going to be executed. Now for this statement, system.out.println a, the value of a is what? It is 6, so only you will be getting 6 as an output, and 0 times your overall loop will be executed. Okay, so this is basically the answer for your fifth one, this one. Now moving forward with your sixth portion, give the output of the following program segment and also mention how many times the loop is executed. Again the same thing. Yes, so see over here, we are having int I equals to 5. The value of I is what? It is 5 initially. Now we have to check the condition. Again, my dear students, over here we are not having any brackets, so only one statement is there in your for loop. Okay, so I equals to 5 we are having. Now the condition will be checked, that is 5 is greater than 10. The condition is what? It is false. So not even once this thing is going to be evaluated. Directly आपका compiler यहाँ पर लास्ट वाले स्टेटमेंट पर आ जाएगा. ओके, एंड यू विल बी गेटिंग व्हाट? सिस्टम डॉट आउट डॉट प्रिंटलन आई मल्टीप्लाइड बाई 4. ओके, द वैल्यू ऑफ आई वाज व्हाट? इट इज 5, एंड मल्टीप्लिकेशन विद 4 will be giving you what? It is going to give you 20. So basically 20 is the output, and 0 number of times your loop has got executed. Okay, so this is the answer for your sixth part. Now again moving forward, we are having this one. Write the following programs. Now see the first one over here. Now for this time being, please don't focus on the second one, just focus on the first one. This is the question, and you have to convert this do while loop into your for loop. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to firstly find out what are our initialization phase as well as our test condition and our updation and our statement, or you can say body of the loop. Yes, basically these are for our what? These are our initialization phase. Okay, this is our test condition and this is our updation portion. These are basically what? Our body of the loop, or you can say statements. Okay, see, now please see over here that d equals to 5 also we are having, but in this condition we are not checking d. Yes, and in this updation also we are not checking d, so we can take this d equals to 5 before for loop. Okay, you can take it inside for loop, it depends on you, it is perfectly valid, but you can also take above for loop. Okay, so if you are going to take it above for loop, then firstly you are going to write down int d equals to 5. Now within this for loop you are going to divide it into three portions. Firstly the initialization phase, that is going to give you int I equals to 1, this one. Yes, now for the second one, this condition, from here it is going to be there. Now for the updation I plus plus, here it is going to be. Okay, now these brackets, either you start this bracket from here or you start this bracket from here, it depends on you, both the things are same. Now the statements, or you can say body of the loop, will be written like this. Okay, as it is there printed over there also. I hope that this conversion is clear. Now my dear students, this regarding these your conversions, these are basically very important for your exam kind of purpose. Okay, so they might come in your exam, so please prepare accordingly for these questions. Now see over here, we are having one more question using our do while loop, second one, and you have to convert it into your while loop. Okay, so firstly what we are going to do, we are going to write down all these statements like this. Okay, so the first one, this from here, class number, public static void main int nr scanner and all these things. Yes, all these things we are going to write down as it is, because they are not taking part in your looping. Yes, now over here, see, this is a test condition, it is going to come over here in your while. Getting? Now these are what? These are the body of the loop. Now over here the body of the loop has been written like this. Getting the point? Now again, either you open this bracket after this while loop or you open this bracket in the next line, both the things are same. Okay, now we are not having any updation portion over here. Yes, but you see students over here that we are having n not equal to 0. Okay, and the value of n is updated in this statement. Yes, getting the point? So basically this is your what test condition, and this is your updation portion. So this is how you are going to write down the second answer. Please let me know in case you are having any difficulty in these conversions or any kind of outputs. Okay, so in this video, up till now, up till this fourth part, we are going to discuss. In the next video, we are going to continue with the same chapter, with the same exercise portion, and basically we will see how we are going to unsolve our unsolved Java programs for the same. Okay, so this is for this video. Thank you so much and keep coding.